Okay, I think I am now sharing the graduation slides and we are live on YouTube.
So we see your screen, Billy, but it looks like it might be in like the speaker view, maybe.
We see your desktop.
Yeah.
Try that one more time. Don't worry, everyone. I promise I know what I'm doing. There we go, right?
There we go.
Um, okay, so let me just drop in the chat the uh, YouTube link, and uh, we will we will be we will be good to go. There, if you need that direct link, it is now in the chat. So we are ready. Okay, so welcome to graduation night for our after hours August 2024 cohort. So we have 3 classes that have spent the past 6 months with us, earning their certificates in either C# with Java, JavaScript, or our data analytics and engineering with Python class, also known as DataPy. We have a lot to go through tonight, so I am going to dig right in. We have a run of show that I'm trying to get to. There it is. So we have some special guests in the audience tonight that would like to say congratulations and tell you how proud they are of you, because this is quite an accomplishment here. And then we will hand it over to our instructors for superlative awards. These are awards that your instructor and TA and program manager have all come up with for you based on your performance in class. And then the reason why we're all here, the grand finale, we're going to see your final project demos. If you don't know much about our final projects, students are basically put in random groups and then on the spot have to come up with an idea, pitch it, get that idea approved, and then have roughly 5 to 6 weeks to complete all of this. And it's a lot. It's a huge task, and we are often impressed with what our students create. So that's what you're going to see tonight. We have 9 groups presenting across our 3 classes. So it should be a pretty exciting night. So I will stop talking now and pass it over to someone who would like to talk to our students. April, are you ready?
I am. Thanks, Billy. Hi, everybody. I am April Watkins. Oh, look, there I am. I'm the Director of Operations here. So although you don't see me in class all the time with you, you may have crossed paths with me along the way, but rest assured, I have been working with our team here and watched your progress all along the way. First, before I give my heartfelt congratulations to all of you, welcome to all the family and friends that are here and watching on YouTube to share in the fun today. I want to take a second to thank our team here first. Billy and Charlene, program managing and keeping everything on the rails. Shauna and Liz going through all of the soft skills training and all the support to get you ready to go out there and do those interviews and apply for those jobs. And all of our instructors, Kevin and Ryan in JavaScript, and Frank and Jay in C# and Java. and James and Eric in our Data Pi class. They are the reason that you've made it here today. So if you have a second, just give them a round of applause, a big kind of Zoom cheer, if you will, because they're the reason we've all made it to here today. But you are all the stars of the evening. We know it has been a long time. I'm sure August seems like a million years ago. And you've put in a lot of hard work. There have been joys, there have been triumphs, and there have been some not triumphs, I know. But you've done it, and here you are. And we are all so proud of you. You stuck with it. You've done a great job. And I know that we can't wait to see your final project demos and what you do once you leave our little Grand Circus doors here and go out into the world and take on your next roles. So great job. We're so glad you spent your time here with us. And let's see what you've done. Congratulations.
I think up next, our Director of Career Services, Elizabeth Heaton, is going to say some words.
Yes, thank you, Billy. Thank you, April. First and foremost, my name is Elizabeth Heaton. I am the Director of Career Services and Alumni Relations here at Grand Circus. Most of you did not see me for the first couple of weeks of boot camp. So I was a person on Slack. I was out. So it was great to step in and meet you all. Huge thank you to Shauna for keeping Career Services up and running while you all started. I wanted to take a moment and first of all say congratulations to all of you on a job well done. After hours boot camp is not an easy task. We all know that you're balancing lives between 9 to 5 and then picking up class and then spending weekends and everything like that. On top of that, Career Services asks you to write a resume and do your LinkedIn and interview and do all these other things. So we just want to say thank you, and your hard work does not go unnoticed. I also want to take a moment to reiterate the fact that Career Services does not end after graduation. We are here for you as long as you'd like us to be. If you are job seeking, we will be following up with you every week after graduation until you land that first job. So we will be reaching out to you all. We're going to give you the weekend messages because we will be reaching out to you. And Shauna just beat me to it. So keep an eye on your Slack messages. And if you ever need anything in between time, just know that you have unlimited resume reviews, LinkedIn, mock interviewing support, and anything in between. And with that, I will turn it back over to Billy, I believe.
Do you want to introduce our alumni, I guess?
I was going to say, is it Brian? Oh, there we go. I was like, I thought I had one more slide. Okay. So with that, I am going to introduce our alumni speaker for tonight. His name is Brian, and Brian is a graduate of the JavaScript Bootcamp from April 2023, which feels like a lifetime ago, but it's not really that far. He is a data analyst for advanced plumbing and heating supply. He's also our resident LinkedIn poster extraordinaire. And he has always had great advice and experiences to share. So I won't hold back any longer, and I will turn it over to Brian to give you some words of wisdom from somebody who's been in your exact same spot. Brian, floor is yours.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for the great introduction. Glad I was able to make it on kind of short-term notice. Sorry I didn't dress up. I kind of look like an alcoholic murder or a homicide detective today. So kind of just rolled out of bed, it looks like. Anyway, yeah, congrats on passing. You made it. Kind of a huge relief off your shoulders. Now it's the question is always, what the heck do I do? So I kind of want to read a quote to you from a recent Super Bowl champion, AJ Brown, star receiver for the Phillies. He said, after a few days I've had to reflect on being a champion. I try to feel how everyone made it to be a champion. Unfortunately, it was short-lived. 2 days to be exact, LOL. I've never been a champion at the highest level, but I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My thrill for this game comes when I dominate. It's the hunt that does it for me. It's when the DB drops back or drops his head, surrenders that he can't F with me. The intense battle, early mornings, late Sundays, sacrifices. I love putting smiles on people's faces. Don't get me wrong, but if it just wasn't what I thought it would be, it's a journey that I love the most, back to work. And that's kind of a long-winded response of my advice after take a couple of days to kind of process everything. But come Monday, it's back to the grind. It's getting on LinkedIn, branding yourself, showing the world what you've learned, expanding on a project, networking. It's right back to training camp here. So keep the discipline that you've kept up for all of your boot camp going forward until you land a job. That's it.
Thank you
Thanks
so
so
much,
much, Brian.
Brian. Yeah, thank you so much, Brian, for those words of encouragement and those gems, and also the humor inside as well. Much appreciated. And thank you for coming on notice, as you mentioned as well.
Have a good
Um,
one.
Yes, thank you. All right, friends. So next we are going to move over to the presentation of announcing our graduates, as well as what we call paper plate awards, which are special acknowledgments that are unique to each student. So first we are going to begin with our after our bootcamp JavaScript class led by Kevin and Ryan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kevin. So nice to see you all here. Welcome, welcome. And Ryan, great to see you. So yeah, I'm so proud of everyone who's made it. You guys did such a wonderful job. Brandon, oh, I see Brandon there. Brandon, it's so wonderful. You are the absolute winner of the best dad jokes I've ever seen in my life. The full stack of dad jokes. Every day he brought a new one to the table, and every day he put a smile on my face and the face of his classmates. So Brandon, wonderful job. You're such a positive presence in class, and you really are a fantastic developer. Good job. Naila always has an analogy to break things down, and she's also a very powerful sorceress in Dungeons and Dragons, so watch out for her. But she's very good at breaking things down, incredibly good at taking something complex and explaining it in a manner that just makes sense. And don't mess with her either. She's pretty powerful. Naila, wonderful job. It's been so great having you in the class, and I'm so grateful that you are a part of the boot camp. Ken, you are absolutely an incredible front-end developer and now back-end developer. You showed so much skill and you were so great with all of the other students. You stepped in and you showed a lot of really incredible leadership through the course. And I know you love anime, and I know that I'm so excited to see what you're cooking up next. You are an absolute joy to have in the class, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for the work you've done. Congrats, you've earned your certificate. Zach, Zach, the Mind Flayer Code Slayer, you are always fantastic. By the way, Zach also speaks French, so should give him a secondary award for just being really cool with speaking French. I found that out the other day. Just got to drop that in there. Super cool, Zach. You are an amazing coder. So grateful you were here. Darrell just quietly being an absolute boss. He is a rogue CEO, and when he's on the table and he's coding away, you always know it's going to be something amazing. Darrell, you are absolutely fantastic. I loved having you in the course. I love seeing all of the work you did. I loved that you shared such brilliant ideas with everyone. And again, thank you so much for being a part of this course. You're absolutely fantastic. Meek, Steve's job protege for sure. For sure. Such an innovator. By the way, Meek landed within top 10 for one of her apps on the Trivia Marketplace in iOS. Absolutely Steve Jobs protege. Absolutely nailing it. So excited for you. So excited to see where you take things next. Mohammed, always nailing it. Not only does he never have typos, he can spell like anything. He's a winner of spelling bees. He is an incredible programmer, and it's always a joy. You bring so much positivity to the class, and I'm so excited to see what you do next. Oh, Omar, let me tell you, Omar, night and day coded away. He would spend his time in class asking great questions, always taking the time to dig deeper and learn more. And then after class, during his work shift, he would keep studying, so long into the hours of the night. If anyone in this class knows how to put their nose to the grindstone and just keep on going, it's him. I've learned I've learned more from him than I think he can learn from me. He has got such an incredible work ethic, and again, I know you're going to do great things. Thank you again for being here. Micah. Micah is an absolute champion. Always a great presence in class. You're funny, you're smart. He is just a ninja with code and absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate everything you've done. I'm so excited, and I know that your presentation today is going to be amazing. I know that you're going to keep doing amazing things. You are absolutely a coding wizard. You're a ninja. You got a code dojo going on. You're absolutely amazing. And Casey, who has pushed through time and time again and always saw things through. I mean, you've come so far, you've gotten so much work done, from learning the fundamentals of programming to now building out so many incredibly complex apps. You absolutely are nailing it. I'm so proud of the work you've done. I'm so proud of your progress. I'm so excited to see where you go next. There is no mountain high enough with Casey. When there's a challenge, she faces it and she beats it every single time. Brett, always the champ. Brett is circling around, never a quitter, always pushing forward. And again, so proud to have him in the class. You always had great insights. You always asked great questions. You always brought so much joy to the class, and you know how to break things down. You know how to work with your peers, and you know how to lead discussions. Brett was such a great presence in class and an absolute winner across the board. And then David, which, by the way, David himself is also a teacher. So I got to teach a teacher, which is always a rare treat. So it was such a great presence to have in class. But David, you're fantastic. You are a wonderful mentor, a wonderful leader, a wonderful teacher, excuse me. And it's just been an absolute joy to work with you, to help you learn new things. And again, I've gotten to bounce ideas off of him too. Teacher to teacher, we've had a chance to talk and, you know, hey, how do you like to explain something? How do I like to explain something? It's been wonderful getting to chat with you. It's been wonderful working with you. And David, you are a next gen mentor. You're a leader. And again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for those thoughtful and unique creative paper plate awards for your students. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And congratulations, JavaScript class. Next, we're going to move over to our C#.NET Java class that was led by Frank and Jay. Take it away.
Well, congratulations, everybody. I know that you all worked very hard to get through this 6 months, but you did it. And now you're going to enter the exciting universe of IT, and I think you're going to find that a wonderful life experience. So let's see who we got first. Kendall Bliss. Kendall was a joy to have in class most of the time. The times it wasn't is when he would challenge me and I'd have to go Google something because he came up with something that I didn't even know. But Kendall was great. He had a great Zoom background. When you're teaching at night and it's starting to get late, you like to have a Zoom background that's going to kind of wake you up. And anytime I look at Kendall, his Zoom background would wake me up. So he had a great Zoom background. Thanks, Kendall, for helping keeping me awake during our training. I'm chuckling because Ashley had the most creative use of tech of any student I've ever had. Ashley had all kinds of tech problems. She had a laptop that the touch screen stopped working. It got cracked. She couldn't really use it. And it was actually a point in time where Ashley was logged in on her phone, watching the class and working on her cracked screen computer to get things done because she couldn't join our Zoom meeting. So she was watching me on the phone and trying to follow along. But she had a great attitude, and there are also some other times that I don't because I don't want the Michigan State Police to know you were talking on your Zoom meeting phone while you're driving. But there are times I think she was actually doing that too. But that's just speculation on my part. There's no evidence of that, so don't show up at Ashley's house. But no, she was great. Had a great attitude. She also had car issues that were a talk of every night. What's going on Ashley's car tonight? It was a real joy to have a classroom. Her personality and her perseverance were great. It was a great inspiration for everybody. Josh, every session, Josh was there, sometimes before me. I mean, Josh was. I like to open the classroom like a half an hour before the session starts, so people have a chance. And there'd be times where Josh would already be in it. I don't think Josh was ever late for a session. I also remember a couple of times where during the final project, I'd start the Zoom meeting, and I would forget to open the breakout rooms. And all of a sudden, I hear in my ear, "Hey, where's the breakout rooms?" was going to be there earlier than everybody else. So Josh, thanks for keeping me on my toes, and to keep up the punctuality that's going to serve you well in the IT world. Ryan has got to be the most improved. I remember the first couple of weeks with Ryan. He was like a deer in the headlights. I mean, all this stuff was brand new to him, like most of our students, and he was struggling just with the concept and the idea. And then over the 6-month period, he slowly progressed, and it's a wonderful thing to see a student who's kind of lost at the very beginning, and then when we get down to the final project, he really understands what's going on. He's got a really good understanding of what's going on. So he's got to be the most improved student in our cohort, because now I have complete confidence that Ryan is going to be a great developer when he gets out there on the job. Good work, Ryan. Evan, we call him the spirit of Detroit because every Monday we would live and die with the Detroit Lions. We'd rehash the Detroit Lion game and what was going on with the Lions. And I spoke earlier about Ashley having some car issues, or other people having car issues, and or wanted to know where something was. And Evan is like the Google Maps of Detroit. He knew exactly where to tell her to go, in what neighborhood to find things. And he was also a great student. He was always there to keep me on my toes and help out when everybody needed help. So Evan, I appreciate all your help. Thank you. And then you got Ethan. Ethan, you wouldn't even know he was there. Okay. I mean, you could see him working, but you could also see his brain just absorbing like a sponge all the stuff we're talking about. And he was able to take that in and just turn it around. Sometimes he knew what we were going to do before we knew what we were going to do. But Ethan, I have no doubt that you're going to be an excellent person. I also was thinking about giving you the title of least likely to be replaced by AI, because you're so good that there's no way any artificial intelligence is going to do better than you. So great job, Ethan.
All right. Thanks, C# team. And again, congratulations, C# students. And again, thank you, Frank and Jay, for those thoughtful paper plate awards. Next, we are going to move on to our last class of the night, which is our Data Pi class, which was led by James and Eric.
All right. Well, I just want to congratulate not only all of my students, but the students in all of the programs graduating tonight. Congratulations on the last day of your time as Grand Circus students and the first day of the rest of your career as computer programmers. I'm so excited to be a part of your guys' journey. Can't wait to see where all of you guys go. So let's go ahead and dive into the awards for my crew. First off, Charles. So Charles is my guy. I think your inquisitiveness, your ability to constantly, oftentimes pushing me by really digging deeper to really get into the advanced understanding of whatever topic we're talking about, is such a tremendously wonderful asset in this field. I think if you can continue that inquisitiveness, that desire to know more and deeper and really develop mastery, I think you're going to go really far. So can't wait to see where you go, Charles. Awesome job, man. Next up is Abe. I think Abe was one of those ones coming in. He was a little bit quiet, but I think over the course of the program, I've really seen him kind of step up his game and really develop a mastery of the things that we've talked about. And so, Abe, I think you've done a great job throughout the course of the cohort. Can't wait to see where you go next. So Ibrahim is my epic Zoom background champ as well. I will say his backgrounds are always on point, always great energy. I always have a smile whenever I see whatever his newest background is throughout the course of the cohort. But I think also, in addition to that, not only does he bring a great energy to every class that we've had, but he's also another one who's very courageous about asking questions throughout the cohort. I think just stepping up and really being unafraid to ask the deeper questions not only benefits his own knowledge, but really helps everyone around develop a deeper understanding. So I think keep up that inquisitive nature and always trying to learn more, and I think you'll go far, man. So congratulations. So Jahira is my cool cucumber. So Jahira has had so many things going on in her personal life. I just want to say I commend you on top of working, on top of raising children, for making it through this 6-month program. I know how hard that can be. I just want to say, I don't know how you do it. I don't think I could do it if I had kids and was working full time. I think I'd probably go insane by the end of this. So I think you're a rock star for doing everything that you do, getting to the end of this, and congratulations. I can't wait to see where you go next. So Connor is my guy. He is my silent code slayer by all means. I think Connor is one of those people who is quiet, but when you ask him questions, when you engage him, his level of knowledge and expertise is second to none. So I think you're an incredibly intelligent individual, Connor. I think you're going to go far. I have no worries about you in this field. I think you'll be right at home, man. So can't say enough good things about you. Congratulations. Mariah is my keep calm and code on. I think she's another one as well that's had a lot of things going on in her life, but every time, and I think some of that throughout the course of the cohort, I've also seen kind of the evolution of her confidence. And so she's one of the ones that's maybe a little bit quieter, but when you ask her questions, she's always nailing it. She's always on point. So keep doing what you're doing. I think you're doing great. Have confidence in your skills, because you got them, girl. You're there. So congratulations. Can't wait to see where you go. Kenny is my guy. Kenny is absolutely, man. I know wherever you go next, you're going to crush it. Can definitely see you continuing on in the tech field. I think you'd make a great entrepreneur as well. I think not only do you have the technical skills, but you've also got a good personality and great hustle. So I know you're going to work really, really hard, man. Can't wait to see where you go. Congratulations. So Michael is my award for most likely to found the next tech startup. Michael as well, one of my rock stars of the cohort. I just want to take a second to say, Michael, I think not only are you an incredibly intelligent and gifted individual, I also think, can't say enough good things about your personality as well. I think you're highly professional, super respectful, really kind and generous with helping other people out throughout the cohort. So I think you're a rock star. I think any company would be insane not to hire you. So wherever you go, man, I know you're going to crush it. Congrats.
That's it for our paper plates. Thank you, instructors. Those were all very sweet. Students, not only do you get a paper plate, you get a full stack certificate. Those were timed to go to your inbox earlier tonight, so you should all have those. If any of your names are misspelled or if anything is wrong, get at me and I will fix that as soon as possible. But congratulations, you all made it. Get a full stack certificate. Those were timed to go to your inbox earlier tonight.
And always trying to learn more.
Well, that was confusing. Okay, next. We have final project demos, the reason we are all here tonight. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we are going to hand it over to the students.
Yes, and students, I've just posted again your group order in the channel for you to be able to see it as well. But we are kicking it off with group number 1, so we'll give you a second to go ahead and set up and take over.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Assess voice for Tatooine.
Yeah. Who has the most recent pull from the repository?
That probably would be me.
Okay.
That probably would be me. Hello,
Hey, guess who's
everyone.
sharing?
Yeah, I will do that in just a second. Hello, everyone. My name is Ken, and along with my my great teammates, Omar and Micah, we worked on a full stack web project for Sitting Around Anime. We're big time geeks, along with our instructor Kevin, who was an absolute blast to have be our instructor. But I'm going to share my screen real fast and introduce you to Nakama. Nakama is Japanese for comrade, companion. Those of you that are anime One Piece fans, you know exactly what it means. But essentially, we developed Nakama to be a resource for anime fans who, maybe aren't unsure of what they might want to check out, they might want to watch on the screen or somewhere in the future. So we found an API named Jikan that scrapes a well of information, and we put together this informational front end and paired it with a back end for users to be able to also leave reviews and everything. So as you can see on the screen, at the very top, you'll see, shows that are airing today, and this is coded to change every time as soon as it hit midnight the next day, you're going to see what's coming out that day. You'll also be able to see the top 10 of what's currently airing this season, and also top 10 of the most anticipated shows according to fans in the repository or in the API. Barring that, if you don't see anything in there that you might want, maybe you might need some recommendations. So if there's a show that you may have seen, which is this is in Japanese, this is The Way of the House Husband. You may like a recent show that just came out, Sakamoto Days, that is airing on Netflix right now. And you'll be able to even see the user leaves a reason why this is recommended for you. But failing that, maybe you're just wanting to look through everything that's available that is airing this season. So you can sort it by TV, which displays by default. You can switch to original net animation, which is everything that is basically on a streaming service out there, whether it be Netflix or some other competing service, or maybe an anime movie that's getting ready to come out. Like for instance, those of you that may be fans of Kaiju number 8, there's a movie that's going to be coming out this season at some point, and probably is going to be airing in theaters over here. Perhaps even you might want to be interested to see what's continuing over. So that adds in shows like One Piece, Detective Conan, Dragon Ball Daima, which is carrying over from a previous season. But perhaps you also want to get a little bit more information about a show. And then you click on it and you'll be able to see more information, the genre that the show is in, when it's airing, where it's ranked overall in the massive amount of lists of shows, and a brief depiction of it, as well as some similar titles that are left here. And also, you'll be able to see right here, these are reviews left by the users, even with a custom score. So if you've seen this particular show, go ahead and type in, you can leave a review. This anime was spectacular. And then you can give it a rating, 4 stars, post a review, and it will be posted. Now, before we were able to finish, there is no real-time updating of the reviews, but future iterations of that will offer not only that, but also add videos as well as a user portal where you'll be able to add to a favorites list and be able to see the shows that you would like to check out, and even be able to see other users' reviews and maybe get an idea of what they're into as well. But that's enough for me. I'm going to turn it over to my friends Omar and Micah to kind of give their thoughts on the project as well.
Oh man, he really covered almost everything. It was really nice working. Like this is like the first time I've worked with like two people who are like really knowledgeable about like things really different than me. So like each of us taking a completely different aspect of this project and figuring out how to integrate all those different changes and then just get better at like the communication and the prioritization and being careful of like scope creep. Like all of that like coming together, I felt like it's one of few times I felt like a real developer, outside of just working on something just myself. So I'm very happy with what we have now. And this isn't the last you've seen of Nakama. I think it's actually a version of this is actually like live on Firebase right now, right?
That's correct. It is live. It is still need to integrate the back end with it, but we are planning after this course is over, we're still going to be a locked in dev team. We're going to develop Nakama even further, add more features to it to basically flex our muscles and make this into something that I don't know, maybe we can end up getting some kind of funding for it and be able to really put it out there and make it something that we can share with the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I second what my comrades here in arms talked about just now. I'm really appreciative of the team and like the work that we put in. More to come. Um, yeah, as you heard, Ken is the front end wizard. He's a professional front end dev, so it's cool to work with somebody who has that type of industry knowledge. Micah, up and coming developer in his own right and has a lot of skill. And I was just happy to be here. But I got a chance to work a lot on the back end, which has quickly becoming a love of mine and something that I want to do more professionally in the future. But for now, just kind of progressing with the team here and skilling up in my domain and contributing to the whole is the thing I'm excited about. So yeah, thanks again.
And lastly, congratulations to everybody on lots of the hard work, and congratulations on graduating, particularly to my cohort and all the friends that I've made here. I'm gonna miss seeing you guys 3 days a week, but definitely hop in that Discord and let's keep in touch. Let's collaborate on stuff together, and let's keep pushing and growing together.
Yeah,
Awesome.
shout out Kevin, shout out Ryan. Yeah, oh my God, I love you. So good. Oh my God.
Awesome job. That was an amazing, beautiful app. Thank you all. Next, we have our E squared, K squared group. All right, Kendall.
All right, so I'm Kendall Bliss. My teammates were Ethan Cambridge and Evan Kendall. Thus the name E squared, K squared, because I can't remember how many times people would get us mixed up with other people because our names are all similar. And we made a recipe saver app. This idea actually was inspired by my own family and how me and my wife would kind of generate our shopping list for the week for us and our 3 kids. We would start by choosing out some meals and things like that, and then we would list the ingredients that we would need to buy. So I just thought I could maybe play on that and create an app to kind of really smooth that out, as well as sometimes we just don't have any ideas. Like only so many times you can eat spaghetti in a month, so sometimes we have to go out and search for a new recipe, and that's part of this as well. Some of the tools we used for the UI were like Tailwind CSS and Daisy UI, the password management encryption. And with that, I'll turn it over to Evan.
So when you first load up our webpage here, it takes you into the login screen where you have the option to log in or sign up. You are required to sign up for this so that we can save everything for you. When you sign up, we use bcrypt to salt your password so that when it gets saved to the database, people can't just see whatever password you put in there. And on our home screen here, we have 2 sections here. We have our recipe select, which has a drop down that allows you to select any recipe that you have. It'll pull up the name, the category, and the ingredients. If we click the add to recipe, it will take all of those from the ingredients and move it over to your shopping list. And when you're looking through your shopping list, if you see something you have at home already, you can go ahead and click those check boxes and hit remove checked. And then I'll go ahead and pass it over to Ethan.
Another feature of our app is the ability to add custom recipes and edit ones that you already have. So if you have a secret family recipe, you could put that in there. For now, we'll do hot dogs. You put in the recipe name, the category of food, and all the ingredients. We have a reactive form that allows you to add as many ingredients as you need for the recipe. And once you put in all the information and click adding or submitting the recipe, it'll be added to your list on the home page where you can add it to your shopping list. In the edit section, you can select a recipe to edit. You can add ingredients, remove ingredients, edit all the fields. And once you click the save changes, it will again be updated on the homepage in the list. You can also delete recipes from that page. So if we go ahead and delete, beef calderada, it will no longer be on our list in the homepage. And then if you're not good at cooking or you don't have any secret family recipes, we have a search section for you to get some inspiration. So I'll pass it over to Kendall again to show that off.
For our external API that we used, we chose an API that just connects to a free database full of different recipes. And basically, you can just type in anything you want here, and it'll search by name. So anything with chicken in the name. So we've got chicken congee, a bunch of other ones, Marengo, just various chicken dishes. I know my family's gonna like kung pao chicken because it's like sweet and spicy and everything. So we'll click add to, or excuse me, save to recipes, and check out the homepage, and it should be showing up there again. So there it is. You can add that to our shopping list for the week, and make sure we have all the ingredients for it. And that's our app. It's really fun doing the front and back end for this. It was my first time doing a lot of the C# in the back end. It really ends up putting everything together really well when you combine this. I came from another boot camp where we learned like a simulated back end, and it's really nice to do an actual real .NET back end rather than, a simulated back end with JavaScript. So it's an absolute learning experience for me, and I actually really enjoyed it. Thank you to my group members. You guys were awesome.
Yeah, it was great to work with Ethan and Kendall. They taught me a lot. I learned a lot, more than what I would have learned just working on this by myself. And they were able to teach me just so much about everything for this.
I want to say great job to you guys too. We faced some issues throughout the whole development process, but nobody ever gave up. Nobody ever hung their head. We just kept working, and I think it was all worth it. I think we have a great product.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. The app was beautiful. And I see quite a few comments on folks who say that they need this app in their life. So thank you all for the effort and time that you put in. Next, we will pass it over to our Hogwarts group. Who will be presenting from? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, so that's me and Darrell and Meek. I know that Darrell has our thing. Okay, there we go.
In the app, discover traditional remedies for modern wellness. We have included a disclaimer here, just because the nature of the information that we're displaying, we don't want people to get the wrong ideas. And here's the information that we're displaying. It's a collection of remedies. You're able to filter through the remedies and select different terms that you may see. You have a sore throat, you can type in sore throat, and these all show up here. And then if you want to share a remedy, we have the option to share our links. When you do share, the link that is provided is this right here, this single element card. You can additionally sign in with Google, so you can have the ability to, and from here you can share a remedy, add it to the lot, and continue to share with the world your favorite remedies and have a catalog for them. Please visit the Herbalist to discover traditional remedies and have a well-rounded life. Happy Black History Month. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was our remedy app we wanted to share. It's kind of like a community type of app for like people who want to, share remedies or like more into the holistic things, you know. But it was really fun working with Meek and Darrell. I had a little help with the back end, more of like the database, MongoDB and all that. So and they are amazing, amazing partners. So it was really nice working with them.
Wonderful. Well, awesome job, group. It looked really nice. I would love to use this app. But yeah, really beautiful. Thank you so much. Next, we will have our traffic stops group. Our traffic stops group coming out of DataPi.
Yeah, this is a DataPi group. I just put your topics, so.
Hi. Okay, so we did understanding police stops, patterns, and predictions. It's me, Mariah, and Abe. Okay, while many cities have experienced a decline in police stops, others like New York have seen nearly double the number of stops in just 3 years. Our goal is to develop a predictive model that helps drivers understand the most common reasons for being pulled over. So some of the questions we asked were, what are the most common reasons for police stops? Can we predict traffic stops? And how can the general public avoid unnecessary stops? The goal with our predictive model is to provide insights into the most common reasons for police stops, helping the general public stay informed, assisting policymakers in evaluating trends, and supporting law enforcement analysis and understanding stop patterns.
Yep. And to achieve our goal, we utilized a Stanford Open Policing Project data set that we had sourced from Kaggle, along with an API containing data on police stops in San Francisco, in order to identify key information regarding race and gender for the individual stopped, reasons for the stop, actions taken such as warning, search, and arrest, and the stop outcomes. Some of the methods that we use in order to find this key info, it was refining the data by removing any missing and duplicated values and establishing exactly what specific data would be necessary by going through the EDA process. And for our results and key takeaways, I'll hand it off to Mariah.
What we have featured here is some of the visualizations that we have found with our San Francisco police data set. The first one on the top left corner is duration of stops conducted by the San Francisco police. We found that most of the stops conducted by San Francisco police were likely to last 10 minutes. White people were the most likely to have a 10-minute stop, and Black people and Hispanic people were almost equally likely to have a 10-minute stop. I guess in the top right corner, it would be results of stops conducted by San Francisco police. I guess after the stop was over, what was the result? The San Francisco police were most likely to issue citations as a result of stops conducted. White people were the most likely to receive a citation. Asians and Hispanics were almost equally likely to receive a citation. Black people were more likely to receive a warning than a citation, and Black people were also more likely to have no action taken as a result of a stop than white people. In the bottom left corner, we have reasons people were stopped by San Francisco police. The top two reasons that people were stopped by San Francisco police were traffic violation and a a reasonable suspicion that the person was engaged in criminal activity, white people are more likely to be stopped, followed by Black people, Hispanics, and then Asians. White people and Black people were almost equally likely to be stopped by police for reasonable suspicion. In the bottom right corner, I guess the bottom right corner will be actions taken during the police stops by San Francisco police. Most of the actions taken during the stops were either no action or curbside detention. Curbside detention would just be where they make you sit on the curb, I guess, while they conduct the search. It okay. This was more likely to happen to white people, followed by Black people, then Hispanics, then Asians. Black people and Hispanic people were almost equally likely to have no action taken by the police during a stop.
And that concludes our project.
Awesome. Well, thank you, group. That was very informative. Thank you so much. Next, we have the Wind Whisperers.
We are the Wind Whisperers. It's Ashley, Ryan, and me, Josh DiCello, and we did a weather API. So what it does is you're allowed to register on the page, and it uses bcrypt to salt the passwords. It stores it in a database along with all the locations you saved, and you could save multiple locations. Ryan, you
Over
wanna
on the
take it?
today, yeah, over on the today page, we can look at today's weather. And I'll just give a nice summary of what the conditions are. If you look at the hourly, it will cycle through the consecutive hours throughout the day, showing all the hourly changes. And then if you look at the 7-day, it will show a 7-day summary of all the weather. You can click on current location to cycle through the changes or the locations, as Josh said. And then we have a user profile we can access.
Which we didn't get to editing any of the locations and the user profile. But other than that, really isn't much else.
But throughout the project, we did tackle, of course, the challenge of integrating like real-time weather data with like, of course, our user experience. So of course, building that back end with the C# and then a responsive, like well-designed, we'd hope, Angular front end. But
We
thanks
were
for coming.
plagued by a lot of issues as well. I think we had to rebuild our whole back end just on over the weekend on Saturday. That was causing a lot of server issues and connecting with the front end. But we were able to get through it, so we're happy with what we got so far. We would like to do some more work if we were to have more time, such as maybe do like a dark mode, add some historical trends, and do some severe weather alerts.
Yeah, we also had JSON Web Tokens hooked up, and it had signing signatures and everything, and we just didn't get time to do the authentication or anything like that. And that is everything we have.
Thank you. Love a dark mode. That would be a very good stretch goal. And it would not be a graduation if we did not have technical difficulties to deal with. So we have been there. Thank you, Wind Whisperers. Next up, is it Team Gondor? Team Gondor, are you ready?
Yes, we are. Hello, everyone. So I am part of Team Gondor, and I have the pleasure of being able to share with you our app called Gamers Hub. Get that pulled up here. So Gamers Hub, the original idea was to have a place where you could pull games, stats, and use those statistics to determine the playability of a game. through some API issues that evolved into an application that brings together streamer content, streamer merchandise, and as a stretch goal, some social networking on there as well. The idea being that you can watch top streamers or just your favorites buy their merchandise and chat live about both the merchandise and what you're watching. And so we do have a API that we pull the current top streamers from. And although we are not displaying their current merchandise, we do have another API that we're pulling a false store inventory so that that kind of gives you an idea of what that might look like to have your streamer, your favorite streamers playing, and then also the merchandise that they have available for purchase. We did not have the time to implement a live chat system, but we did want to have one user interface that brings all three of those concepts together so that you can watch your favorite streamers, buy their merchandise, and also discuss what you're watching and react live with other people around the world. So that's pretty much the gist of the application.
There was also an opportunity for potential, like in a perfect world, if we had the say, integrating those brand partners, whether they're sponsored or not, into the live stream so that you could purchase even their partners' merchandise, whether they're partnered with Monster, Red Bull, a makeup brand or whatnot. So it really just allows for a more immersive experience for the viewer. And then also allows the streamer to build upon their platform, their reach, and just continue to grow their community.
And we also integrated a search bar where, because I think if you scroll down, it tells you what the streamer is currently playing. You can then, yep, maybe. What is Zach playing? No one knows.
He's playing a
But
ballad.
you can, okay, yeah, you can type that into the search bar and it will, never heard of that kid in my life. It'll pull up the game, and in one of our versions, it does have a working link to the International Game Database, which gives you information like game release date, different box art, if there's any community mods that have been released, any sequels, things like that. Yeah, so yep, got lots of, you got Halo. So pretty much any game, don't quote me on that, but any game you should be able to search and get more information on. So that was cool.
And then given the extra time, it would have integrated into our prior idea of that purchasing the game and going from there to then play the game your streamer's playing.
That's our app.
Another group with an entrepreneurial spirit. I can honestly say we have not seen a project like that before. So that's another one where our students are doing something different that we have not seen before. Next up, we have our safety ratings group from DataPie.
All right, so that means you guys get another PowerPoint presentation. Sorry to ruin the mood. Let me pull it up. Full screen and share. All right. And Charles, start us off.
Okay, so this is our presentation presented by me, Charles, Connor, and also our other partner, Ibrahim. So our presentation is titled Linking Fatal Crash Data to Safety Ratings. So the question is, does a car safety rating truly impact fatal crash numbers? Safety ratings are something every car has, and most tests must be passed for the car to reach the market. Can a one-star safety rating increase the likelihood of a crash being fatal? From car buyers to insurance agencies, finding the true impact of the ratings could be extremely helpful in predicting when a crash would be fatal. So the data we used was from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. This included the Fatal Accident Reporting System. This was a government API that had data from 2010 to 2021. This API only included fatal crashes, didn't include any minor accidents. And we also got our safety ratings for the vehicles from the same government agency, which included the cars and the safety ratings. So in order to get this data, we had to build a pipeline that extracted the makes and models that exist in FAR's API data set. We had to sum or add all together the fatal crashes per year for each model. We had to get the safety ratings to each car, clean the data, add it to the database, normal data analyst things. And I'll pass it over to Connor.
All right, so now we get to the analysis results. So this checkerboard is something that probably stands out a bit. It's a correlation heat map, which basically determines the relation between two variables. And now this 1.0 very high red on the scale means it is a very, very strong direct correlation. But I would like to point out that is not entirely what it seems, because since almost every car involved in a fatal accident has a 5-star rating, it's going to, of course, say that 5-star ratings mean more fatal accidents. But this is a case of correlation does not equal causation, and it's just a saturation of the 5-star. So we will further analyze to see if we can find any other insights. But before that, we can take a look at just general models and their fatalities, just to get an idea. And we can see firmly that the top 2 leading models in fatalities are some of the most popular vehicles in the United States, that being the F-Series pickup from Ford and the Ford Silverado as well. These are almost double. The next leading one is just a matter of also being one of the most populous vehicles out there. So we took them out as just a demonstration of what it would look like without those very, very high numbers. And it's a little more balanced, but it's still very popular things. There's lots of Camrys, lots of Ram trucks, lots of Corollas. The common car will always have an edge in this, is which we're learning. Even when taking just the most popular 11 makes in the country, it's still very much so skewed to the most popular of those cars. But we can look at the makes themselves now, which are the manufacturers, and determine if that is also a case. And yes, just having a more popular manufacturer in more cars will saturate the space and will skew the data a little bit. So right now we are running into inconclusive problems and stuff. So we will continue to analyze until we can get something to pull from it, which will be the star ratings to total fatalities. And this will be the big one. Since there is a very large skew of all the data being in the 5 stars, most overall ratings being 5 will, of course, mean most fatal crashes will be in 5. But one of the more interesting takeaways that has a noticeable effect is the rollover stars, which is the safety rating specifically for a rollover test. When that is 5 stars, it is significantly less fatalities than when it's 4 stars. So that is something we can truly point out and say there is a higher of this means less of that. And as a small aside, and more of a purpose of why we're looking at this question in particular, is that fatalities in car accidents have been dramatically increasing over the years. And so we feel it is pertinent to find a way to predict and or help prevent and stop these. And looking at some of the ways to do that would be looking at the data for them and seeing which variables have the most weight. All right. Would you like to fill out our conclusion, Ibrahim?
Sure. So while this project wasn't the most groundbreaking discovery, it serves as a source to point efforts into further refining the causes of fatal crashes for potential prediction. It indicates that more weight should be placed on the crash and where the car was damaged. And as our overall interpretation, with most cars already having high ratings and fatal crash being dependent on so many outside factors, A safety rating alone cannot predict the fatal crash. The best data lead is that we found was, as Connor indicated, was the rollover ratings and the fatal crashes along the years that are increasing. And that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for your time.
I watch out for those F-150 drivers. It's me.
Yeah, don't drive the popular car. That's the result.
All right. Well, thanks, group, for letting us know all about those safety ratings. Next up, we have the Pistons group.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. See if I can get some sharing going on over here. Okay, do you see the screen for Task Assist?
Yes, we see it.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you everyone, and it was a pleasure to be a part of this course, and thank you for all the staff, teachers, and also all the students. I think everyone made it happen and made this a great success. So to get started, my name is Mohammed Shamsuddin. I'm one of the students here. My partner in crime, we have Brandon, and we also have David, who is, I believe, not feeling well. So today, Brandon and myself will be presenting. So what you see before you is an application. And I have heard a lot about you guys saying you don't want to see the light mode. So here we go, dark mode. Alrighty. So what our app is basically a lot of tasks, multitasking, all kinds of things going on in our personal lives, work lives, private lives. So we thought, a lot of the apps that are out there, what we get is we get a ton of ads. We get, where do I click? Where do I see my task? You got to swim through a bunch of screens. So we wanted to keep it simplicity as genius and make it a small little app on how we can track our work and keep it personal and private. So here it is. The backend for this is we're using Express for the backend server, Mongo for storing the data, and Axios for retrieving the data. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started briefly, and then my partner in crime is going to pick up in the along the way. Okay, so first thing, to get to the app, to get to the menu, to be able to access the app, we have a Firebase authentication. We sign in with Google. Once you are signed in with Google, mine should automatically pick up since I am already signed on. So to confirm that, we can open the menu item here. We can check the user profile, and my name should be visible there. So the first screen we see is the tasks themselves, and these tasks will have a category, a priority, and also a date. So I will go ahead and add a task. So to add a task, we can enter a name for the task, and we can make it a personal, priority medium, and then we can give it a date. And then we add the task. Task added successfully. We can go back to our menu, and then we can view our tasks, and we can see the demo task that we added. And Brandon, talk us through some of the things that can happen here and some cool things.
I'd be happy to. Thanks for handing it off. So as you can see, if a user wants a better view of a task, they can click on a specific task in the task list, and a modal will pop up with a little clearer view. So that's user friendly, good user interface. And yeah, kind of like how Mohammed was explaining for adding a task, we give users the option to choose categories such as personal or work related, or even a special one that's like a private task, which we actually use a filtering system for. So you have to navigate to a different page to view your private tasks. So it's just another added layer of security with that. And you're also able to add an optional due date as well. So that's pretty cool. And a task priority. So high priority, medium priority, low priority. And we even do color correlation as well. So low is green, medium is yellow, red is high. So we try to keep it super user friendly like that. So yeah, here's the initial page of viewing your tasks. Let's head over to the navigation bar. Awesome, thank you. Let's update a task. Let's go and update a task. Let's update. There we go. Let's turn that into walk the dog. Let's walk the dog. Perfect. We'll make that a personal category. And we'll put the priority as medium. And the due date, fine where it is. No set due date on that, but where it's good. Yep. So we get a confirmation modal, which is just another layer. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, let's update it. All right, perfect. Looks like it was successfully updated. So let's see if that reflects in the task list now. Well, what do you know? Look at the top task. It says walk the dog. Hey, all right. Cool. Looks like everything updated successfully. All right, let's head back to navigation. And let's delete a task. So obviously the whole point of having tasks is to not have any more tasks. So let's head down to the bottom of the list and let's delete demo 2. We'll go into there. Another confirmation modal, but this time for deletion, which is even more important. Because once you delete it, you can't get it back. You'd have to remake it. So let's go ahead and delete it. Okay, looks like we had a confirmation message at the bottom. It says task was successfully deleted. Let's see if that reflects in our tasks list. I don't see it anymore. All right, that worked. Great. All right, let's move back into the navigation. And let's head over to, actually, let's create a private task. So let's add a task. This one will be file reports. The category will be work related. Or actually, I'm sorry, it'll be private. Yes, it'll be private. Good call. And then let's do high priority. And a due date, whatever you like. It can be tomorrow, the next day. Perfect. Okay, it looks like it was added successfully. So let's go into the navigation bar. Let's go over to view tasks. Oh, view private. Yeah, let's go to view tasks because I want to show the filtering system. There we are. I don't see it in your view tasks on your first page. Now let's head over to view private tasks.
I spoiled the beans.
That is A-okay. Oh, hey, there it is. File reports. Category private, priority high. All right, awesome. Another layer of security there. So even if somebody does sign into your application, the initial page won't show your private tasks. So let's head back to the navigation bar and let's head over to share task. So this is purely front end right now. We don't have full functionality on our sharing of tasks. So that's a stretch goal for us, and that's what we're currently working on next. So before this ever gets deployed and out in the real world, we'll make sure that people are able to share tasks with each other. And then this can become more of a work-friendly application as well for task delegation. So yeah, and for the requirement there, as Mohammed's demonstrating, you can share a task, it'll give you the task name, and then you have to put in a recipient for who's going to receive that task. And then you could successfully share that task. But like I said, no functionality at the moment. So we'll cancel that. So yeah, that's our share task page. And let's see.
Log out?
Let's log out. Let's see if we can successfully log out. Okay, it takes us back to the main page to sign in with Google with that Firebase authentication, like Mohammed mentioned. And that is our full application, Task Assist, where we assist and you score.
I love that tagline. Awesome job, team. And again, way to pivot and still deliver an exceptional project. So congratulations. And last but not least, our final demo for the night is our real estate group coming out of DataPie. All right, all yours when you're ready, DataPie group.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hey, sorry, I was talking on mute. Sorry.
You're okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone first and foremost, especially my instructor James, as well as my TA who came promptly midway through the class. He really offered a lot of help. That is Eric Huckville and my amazing classmates. You guys really made it a stimulating atmosphere. I think we all learned a lot. There's a lot to gain from it, and we can constantly improve. But just have to say my thanks. Nonetheless, it's no avail. So Michael and I decided to embark on a journey to use data-driven insights on trends, challenges, and housing valuations. Why? Well, it was easy to conclude, but harder to represent. So we decided to just try to analyze year over year changes in home prices, as well as understanding some of the economic macro factors that could potentially influence, specifically in the time range of post-pandemic era. However, our historical content does range from 2012 to 2024, so bear with us. It matters to us because Michael and I believe that, in the current state across the country, Charlotte, New York, as well as Miami, those are hotbeds. But we've seen a lot of growth attributed towards the Charlotte region, especially. So we decided to kind of drill in, look at some of the significant price surges post-pandemic, and try to uncover some details of why investors and home buyers might be, nearing these destinations in their short and long-term pursuits. So understanding some of these trends will help us make some good informed decisions, based on investment decisions and assessing affordability as, challenges permit themselves. We prioritize single family homes. And I think we're aware that we can expand that population to definitely get a larger pool of data, maybe expanding it to 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, maybe luxury apartments, whatever meets the eye. But we didn't use that for this segment, so bear with us. Nonetheless, we expected a significant rise, but ultimately maybe some diminishing returns in affordability. These slides are just to keep you engaged at the slightest, the table of contents, that is. But nonetheless, let's go along with our problem statement. I mentioned before that Charlotte, New York, and Miami were the hotbeds. So we had to combine some descriptive, comparative, and predictive analytics to help drive this project so that we can create actual insights and potentially galvanize investors alike in the near future. With the integration of our current pipeline, we use a variety of transformation tools, manipulation, in order to streamline the process of extracting meaningful returns and patterns from the data sets. We sourced our data primarily from our Zillow API, which helped provide real-time house price values and market trends. And then we also use Freddie Mac. Everyone knows Freddie Mac. Well, that's how we tracked our 15 and 30-year mortgage rates, which helped us influence some of our price valuations that we were able to see and determine some actionable insights. We also use 3 external data sets that were provided as CSVs, in which we had to streamline and load into our databases for storage upon completion of cleaning and processing it. Some of the use cases where we handled any missed fields, describing summary characteristics like mean, median, and mode, and being able to change columns where we saw fit.
Yeah, so as Kenny was saying, we used Zillow and Freddie Mac to kind of get all of our information. And this is just a little code snippet from each of the times that we were pulling information from them. Just a fun little thing that we worked on. But our approach to the descriptive analysis is just finding the average price for a home in a given year. We started off with 2012, and then we went all the way up to 2024 with our information. And we just tried to identify those trends over time, specifically those single family homes, and calculate the statistics to kind of understand the big picture of what was going on. So again, a little bit of a code snippet of us focusing on the single family homes, kind of filtering out everything else besides that, and also grouping the 15 and 30-year mortgage, the fixed rate mortgages from Freddie Mac. Here at the top left, the table that's shown is, as I said, starting from 2012, going to 2024, showing the average housing price per year, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate, and the 15-year fixed rate. So what's really interesting was during the kind of COVID era, which is a little bit easier to see down below in the line chart, where about 2019 to 2021, this graph is showing how long the house was on the market on average. And 2019 was pretty high, but it dropped really, really quick during that COVID year. And on the above graph, you can kind of see that 2021, 2022, or sorry, the 2020 and 2021 timeframe, the 30-year and 15-year are at pretty much the lowest rate that they have been in for this 12-year time period. So we thought that was a pretty interesting correlation there. And then on the right is just another graph showing the average price of a house per year, and that's really going up. So the mortgage rates aren't really affecting how the market is growing for those housing.
Well done. Yeah. Furthermore, yeah, Mike, what he showed there was really just, different timestamps, right? So 2018 to 2019, you see like a more moderate and steady price growth, which is going to support our analysis that, it was because of relatively stable mortgage rates that were between 4.5 to 3.7%. And then in 2020 to 2021, you see that sharp price increase, which, across one bedrooms due to post-pandemic activity and record low mortgage rates and, housing shortages pretty much. And at this point, I think it's reason to at least estimate or infer that post-pandemic, we saw housing shortages that also led to price surges, right? So, and as those prices increase, you see slow price growth for valuations in the future. And I think that offers some insight for investment strategies. Here, we also examine some of the price trends across those 3 metropolitan zones that we chose. Charlotte sticking out. It's one of one. Typically, I would say it doesn't meet where Miami and New York do as far as number of bedrooms once it increases over time, but it does identify areas with very high year-over-year price appreciation. So this is the need for this plot. Yeah. And then lastly, I think it's fair to say that we wanted to include things that showed some of the medians and the modes and the means of the prices, but the standard deviation as well and the variances could have helped us assess some market volatility, I would say. But I think in the future, you can see that market is expected here to like kind of stabilize. And that also shows us, some of the inventory levels as well as some of the key metrics. So home buyers need to consider mortgage rates, whenever you're making your next home purchase. That's the only advice I can give you. Last but not least, in our conclusion, inflation, people considering the economic downturn caused by the pandemic, it pays way for the low interest rates, but this is going to be directly correlated to that surge that I mentioned in home buying and rising property values. I think I had a quote that I came off from this is that cheap debt builds a foundation, but unchecked demand will also turn into quicksand. So that's kind of, really where I can, leave off on this projection. But looking further, I think Mike and I will extend our analysis to rental properties. And that way we can look at other market trends, like when we can, just see how luxury, apartments and rentals influence some of these, valuations. So yeah, incorporating additional macro factors and into predictive models will probably be our next step. But yeah, thank you guys.
Let's give a round of applause for all the projects we had tonight. That was really an impressive night of projects. If you haven't been checking the YouTube stream, it is popping off with love from family and friends at home. So that was really an impressive night. You all worked so hard. Celebrate, go toast yourself. This is a huge achievement. We are not going anywhere. All your Slack channels will remain. You will not have class on Monday, but we'll still be around. If you need anything, do not hesitate to reach out. Again, congratulations, everyone. Very impressive. We are all so proud of you. Congrats. Congratulations, you're graduates. Bye, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you, students.